You landed the promotion, the bonus hit your account, the new title looks sharp in your email signature. So why does your bank account feel tighter than it did 6 months ago? It's not inflation, it's not bad luck. The trajectory you're celebrating is quietly pushing you toward a financial cliff. Here's the psychological trap that turns a raise into a loss. Welcome to Finance Channel, where we unpack the psychology behind your money decisions. The studies, the patterns, the quiet traps. If you've ever wondered why you do what you do with money, you're in the right place. You just landed a 20% raise. To mark the milestone, you buy a luxury watch, a subtle badge of your elevated status. The moment feels exhilarating, but what you don't see is that you've just pulled the first thread of a fabric you can't afford. A single loose thread, and soon the whole garment starts to come apart. Here's how it happens. Within a week, that beautiful new watch makes your everyday leather wallet look embarrassingly shabby. Suddenly, your entire wardrobe feels threadbare. Your car seems outdated, your apartment feels cheap. The cascade has begun. One upgrade just silently downgraded everything else you own, and you didn't see it coming. 6 months later, you're on a six-figure salary, yet you're paycheck to paycheck. The anxiety cuts deeper than when you earned half. That raise didn't free you, it funded a lifestyle that now eats more than the raise ever gave. Your consumption accelerated faster than your pay, and you feel poorer than before. Have you ever stared at your paycheck and wondered, where is it all going? You're making more than you ever have, but financial security keeps receding like a mirage. Maybe you felt that quiet dread that no raise will ever be enough. You're not alone. This feeling has a name, and it's been resetting your expectations for years. The spiral you're feeling right now, it has a name, the Diderot effect. It comes from an 18th century French philosopher, Diderot, who unwittingly demonstrated a brutal psychological law. One exquisite object can make your entire life feel shabby by comparison. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Picture yourself in 1769. You're the philosopher Diderot, and someone gives you a magnificent crimson dressing gown. Suddenly, every piece of furniture around you seems embarrassingly worn. You replace a chair, then a desk, the rug, the art on the walls. One beautiful gift triggers a spending spiral that leaves you broke. That's exactly what happened to him. Your brain has a silent reset button. When a pleasure becomes routine, your neurons stop applauding. That first sip of expensive coffee, now it's just coffee. The joy evaporates and your new normal feels neutral, so you reach for the next upgrade just to taste the light again. Yesterday's luxury is today's baseline expectation, and the cycle quietly accelerates. Here's what's happening inside your brain. Dopamine doesn't spike when you own the watch, it spikes while you're tracking the delivery. That anticipation is the peak. Once it's on your wrist, the thrill flattens. It's just a watch now. So your brain whispers, what's next? It's a neurological treadmill, forever chasing the next hit. Here's what nobody warned you about that raise. You don't just get more money, you get a new measurement stick. Your new colleague's normal becomes your baseline. Suddenly, the car you drive or the restaurant you choose isn't just a preference, it's a silent comparison. You feel entitled to that standard, even when your spending outpaces your paycheck. That Rolex on your wrist, it silently recalibrates your baseline. Now, every other watch feels insufficient. The anchor of acceptable has moved. You're no longer comparing to your old Casio, you're comparing to this new standard. And no matter what you buy next, you're already behind. But here's the twist. This isn't just a story about watches and cars. It's about your hidden definition of enough. The trap is psychological. It warps not only what you buy, but who you think you must become. Your income rises, but the goalpost for a life that feels complete keeps sprinting ahead. You land at 20% raise, but suddenly your needs jump 30%. You upgrade the apartment, the car lease, the restaurants you now consider normal. Each upgrade locks in recurring costs that outpace your paycheck. Your lifestyle inflates faster than your income, shrinking your margin for error to almost nothing. Think back to your last raise. Which treat yourself expense suddenly felt non-negotiable? Was it the upgraded grocery run, the subscription you never canceled? And what did your brain sneakily give up to afford it? That swap is the Diderot effect in motion. Drop your example below. We're reading every single one. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You think a bigger paycheck means fewer money worries, but the data says otherwise. High earners often report more financial anxiety than those earning modestly. The psychological burden grows right alongside the salary. Wealth amplifies your fear of loss. Without control, a soaring income is just a louder scream in a silent room. That new watch silently judges your old shirts. So you upgrade the wardrobe. But now your clothes look out of place in your aging car, so the car gets swapped. That nicer car feels absurd parked at a modest apartment, pulling you toward pricier rent, higher insurance, premium maintenance. One raise just funded a cascade of mandatory upgrades you never planned. Once your upgraded baseline outruns your paycheck, credit cards quietly step in to cover the difference. The interest piles up in the background unnoticed. You tell yourself you're building a life, but what you're really financing is the illusion that you've already arrived, and the debt spiral tightens. But here's what really costs you. The mental toll is heavier than any interest rate. Sleepless nights, that constant hum of low-grade panic, the friction it creates with the people closest to you. You traded a smaller bank account for a much larger anxiety. That promotion didn't just raise your salary, it quietly stole your peace. But here's the scariest part, you won't even notice it happening. Like the frog in slowly boiling water, you never jump, the shift is barely perceptible. The Diderot effect operates entirely below your conscious awareness, quietly normalizing each upgrade until it feels like a basic need, and you never question it. Back in 1971, psychologists Brickman and Campbell studied a group of lottery winners. Within months, they were no happier than regular people. The sudden fortune didn't create lasting joy, it just reset their baseline. That's the hedonic treadmill. You adapt to every upgrade, then you need more just to feel the same. Researchers uncovered a strange paradox. Once you earn around $75,000 a year, more income barely moves the needle on your day-to-day happiness. Yet you keep chasing the next raise like it'll finally unlock lasting satisfaction. The data says the feeling you're chasing is already flatlined. A Rolex doesn't dazzle because it tells time. It dazzles because it signals you want a game most people can't play. But the moment everyone at your level gets one, the signal dies. Status isn't a finish line, it's a treadmill that speeds up the second you match its pace. You upgrade, they upgrade, and the house, always the house, keeps the spread. What if the real power move isn't earning more, but drawing a line called enough? Enough isn't deprivation. It's the precise boundary where your resources support what you truly value. An external comparison loses its charge. Once you define it, the treadmill stops. You're no longer running, you're standing on solid ground. Here's the rule. Before you buy anything that could kick off a cascade, enforce a 30-day pause. In that cooling off window, ask yourself honestly, are you solving a real need or just soothing an imaginary mismatch that one purchase created? Almost every time, the urgency dissolves. Now imagine redirecting that raise toward what actually fuels you. Time with people you love, learning a skill, your health, a shared experience. These purchases don't scream status, so they don't trigger an endless chase. Instead, they compound into a life you're not desperately trying to escape from. That's real wealth. Here's a simple rule to stop the treadmill before it starts. Every raise, immediately route at least 50% into savings or investment. Automate it, that money never hits your checking account. You keep living on your old income while your future self gets a massive head start. Pay yourself first before your lifestyle has a chance to expand. Real wealth isn't a bigger number. It's the quiet confidence that you don't have to keep running. You breathe differently when your identity isn't propped up by monthly payments. That's real freedom, not having more but needing less to feel whole. And from that place, the world looks different. That's when money becomes a tool, not a treadmill. Here's the identity shift. You are not what you own. You are what you build, what you contribute, what you protect. True wealth isn't the price tag surrounding you. It's control over your time and attention. Stop thinking like a consumer. Start operating like a steward. The goal isn't accumulation, it's agency. Picture your next promotion. The extra money lands. What's the first move the old Diderot prone you would make? The upgrade that instantly resets your baseline. Now pause. Visualize the version of you who knows what enough feels like. What does that person do instead? Sit with that gap, because that gap is your freedom. What was the one purchase that kicked off your cascade? A watch that made your wardrobe feel shabby. A handbag that made your shoes look tired. A car that demanded a driveway upgrade. Or a kitchen gadget that somehow led to new countertops. Drop your story below. Your experience could be the exact reflection someone else needs today. You might be surprised how many people share the same trigger. Here's the strange truth. Spending less actually makes you feel wealthier. Keep your baseline modest, and every extra dollar feels like abundance. True luxury isn't a bigger house or a faster car. It's the absence of the need to keep up. That's a level of freedom no raise can buy. The raise wasn't the trap. It was the one beautiful thing you thought you'd earned that then whispered everything else you owned was suddenly not enough. So ask yourself, what is your red dressing gown? And what does it truly cost you? not in dollars, but in the peace you traded away to replace the world around it. The promotion isn't the trap is believing you need to become a new, upgraded version of yourself to deserve what you earn. But who you were before the raise was already enough. You are not a fixer-upper perpetually behind your own life. The quiet power is realizing your worth isn't tied to your consumption. Live like you're already whole at any income. That's how you break free. If this shifted how you think about your next raise, you'll want to see why feeling rich has less to do with money and more to do with time affluence. Tap the card above to watch that next. We'll meet you there. If this gave you a new lens on your own money behavior, consider subscribing. There's a new one every Tuesday and Friday. Share it with someone you'd want to talk this through with. And as always, the work isn't in earning more. It's in understanding why you spend the way you do.